Do you feel, though, and this to me is an interesting point. Look at Chris Brown and Rihanna. The Rihanna photo, I feel, was as impactful as the Cassie video.
At that time, it was,
At that
for
time.
sure.
Especially because Rihanna was a much bigger celebrity than Cassie ever was.
Yes.
Right?
Still.
Even more so now.
Right.
But back then, she had multiple hit songs.
Sure, yeah.
She was like an A-list celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
Cassie was essentially known as Diddy's girlfriend who had a hit 10 years ago. Right? Not a shot at Cassie. That's just reality.
Pretty.
And she was pretty. I got it. But when that photo came out and you saw, Rihanna's eyes closed and bruised and her lips are messed up, that was like, oh my God.
Yes,
you take that picture out of that situation, and I think that Chris Brown would have essentially been unaffected at that point. But now, this is 15 years later? Chris is selling out arenas. Hit records. Yeah, occasionally people will bring that up.
Yeah, but the industry is still disrespecting him, though. He's still, like remember when they scrubbed his Michael Jackson tribute performance?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every so often, like, for example, there was the NBA celebrity basketball game that he was, like, uninvited to, right? And he made a big deal out of it. There's little things that happen overall, but he's still a multimillionaire. He still has tons of female fans. Really, most of his fans are female. How many male fans does Chris Brown have?
I want to know.
Maybe gay male fans, but like, I've never hung out with a guy that's put on some Chris Brown. Like, that's never happened.
Side-eye that motherfucker.
Yeah, like, he'd be doing those meet and greets where the girls are all like
jumping on him and getting unengaged.
And
getting unengaged. Did you see that one?
Yeah. Yep, I saw that. The question is, do you think that if you fast forward 10 years, Diddy will be in the same boat as a Chris Brown?
Yes. No, I don't think, you mean, will he be able to come back and perform and be beloved again?
Yes.
I don't think so.
So what's the difference?
I think we're just sick of fucking Diddy. I think we're just sick of the whole over the topness. I'm the great. Call me love. I'm running a marathon. I'm doing Broadway. I'm the king of the world. I think we're just sick of the motherfucker. Well, I know I am.
And, Diddy's not exactly a...
humble.
Well, no. He's not like
because he ain't
singing,
that either.
He's not the singing star or rapping star himself. He's really more of a producer
background guy.
Whereas Chris Brown is the star.
Yes,
so
and he works
quality.
his ass off.
But I just feel like, and we've seen it time and time again, we've all seen R. Kelly pee on that underage girl, and then his biggest hits came right afterwards, right?
I don't know, because I start to pass out when you start talking about R. Kelly.
Right. The only way I feel like no matter what you do, no matter how crazy it is, yes, there'll be a lot of outrage that day, that week, that month. And if more news comes out, it'll get reignited. But at some point, that news cycle around that particular act will die down.
Because there's so much other fuckery that comes.
Yeah. So much other stuff.
And it gets pushed to the back.
It's pushed to the back. People forget. People go on to something else. And then if you keep putting out content that people like, whether it's music, movies, whatever else, people will say, yeah, but I like this song. Yeah, but I like this movie.
Well, we have to do that now. We're still listening to, they haven't taken R. Kelly out the radio. They haven't taken Diddy out the radio.
Right.
The shit still slaps.
Yeah. Peloton announced they're taking Diddy out the playlist. Who cares?
And who cares?
Yeah.
Because we listen to Peloton commercial anyway.
Right.
But, we can't, and they didn't take the Cosby Show off TV. We still.
Well, I think they did initially.
It's on.
It's back on?
It's on.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
So,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I just don't know about this one. I don't think that Diddy was such a beloved person like a Will Smith that you really want him back like a Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? He was cool and all that, but he was always popping off and doing the most, and You know, he's the king of the world type thing. And there's a humbleness that make you want to forgive somebody.
I don't know.
Well, you asked me.
No, I respect your opinion. I just feel like he still has his catalog.
Yes, it's not, maybe his bag won't stop, maybe whatever like that,
Yeah.
but
He still
I
has his
don't think
catalog.
he's going to be opening the fucking Soul Train Awards anymore. Like, you know, I don't think he's gonna be there. 10 years now, I mean, I could be wrong. Who knows? I don't know. It's
I don't
gonna
know.
be Chris. You know, it's taking Chris this long to recover, and he ain't fully recovered. So
He's done a lot of recovering.
yes, but he's not fully recovered because people still disrespecting him in the industry a little bit.
Yeah, but
See,
But I think, for example, like Fat Joe, he recently said, if it wasn't for the Rihanna thing, Chris Brown would be Michael Jackson right now. And I said, well, I said I disagree, because Chris, although he's a super talented singer and dancer, he's never created musical masterpieces like a Thriller or Off the Wall. He would have a song here, a song there, and they would react. But a Thriller, an Off the Wall, that was a global phenomenon.
and it's still some of my favorite shit.
Still something, you know, Michael Jackson could go on any stage at his height and just stand there.
Super Bowl.
You know, yeah, exactly. Essentially considered the greatest Super Bowl halftime show
Live
ever.
from Bucharest. I
Yes.
know all of you. That's where he did it.
So it's like Michael Jackson, what he created, because I feel Michael had a level of focus that nobody had.
Plus, he was trained like a racehorse
Yes,
from the time he was 5 years old.
exactly.
He didn't know nothing else.
He didn't know anything
He
else.
never worked at the fucking Foot Locker.
Yeah.
No shit like that.
Right.
He'd been a fucking on the grind
Yeah.
since he was a child. That was, you know, part of his complaint. He never had a good childhood.
Yeah, no, like for example, and people like to forget that Michael Jackson also flopped a number of times. Like Ben, remember that album? Yeah. No one was checking for Ben. You know, now Off the Wall, people are like, oh shit, what is this?
Yes.
And then Thriller, and then Bad. You know, and he had a run that was
and
like,
he had a couple of trash albums.
well, yeah, and then, but early on, like I'm saying, he was still trying to figure out his solo sound when he wasn't with his brothers. Chris just doesn't have that. He's not.
Well, he's never been part of a group either.
You're right. And I think like with Chris, he kind of got distracted with some, you know, he like claims Mob Piru, and, you know, he gets into various beefs and stuff like that. And it's just like, you know, had a bunch of kids. I think he has like 3 baby mamas. And it's like,
He was in them streets for a minute.
he was in the streets, you know, and that's fine. It's his life to live. Good for him. That's how he chose to live it. He didn't say, I'm going to focus my entire life on creating the greatest music that's ever been done in the history of the world. You know, like I remember reading this interview with Michael Jackson where they asked him, was he surprised that Thriller did what it did? And he said, no. He said, I wasn't. He said that when it comes to music, you know, the way it turned out, I knew it was going to be what it was. And I was right. You know when you have a Thriller on your hands.
Right.
You're not saying, okay, I hope this single takes off. Thriller was just Thriller all the way through.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. But I honestly feel that as time goes on, and let's just say Diddy doesn't go to prison, because once you go to prison, that's how you cancel someone. You send them to prison, like R. Kelly, Harvey Weinstein. These are all uber talents. They can't do anything because they're locked up.
Good.
Or the person dies.
Gooderer.
Whether they die of natural causes or somebody kills them, like a John Lennon. John Lennon got canceled when he got assassinated, right?
He didn't get canceled.
Well, but you understand what I'm saying, though. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's how you really stop somebody. Because people like to, you know, I've been canceled so many times at this point. Like, yeah, Vlad's finally canceled. He's out of here. Next week, I'll drop another interview and y'all still watch. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. But I honestly feel that if enough time goes by and Diddy comes out with something that really is exceptional, I think people will fuck with it.
Check back with us in 10 years. And we'll revisit this conversation and see where he's at. Shit. I mean, maybe, maybe.
Yeah, who knows?